Good morning. Today is the 26th of November 2024 and I'm going to go through my trade checklist and levels for today. As always, before we start, let's take a look and see what news could move the market, and let's just see how that compares with the one I built myself. So we've got a high impact news today coming in at 2 o'clock. Should be around here, 2 p.m. FOMC minutes. So, and we've got some higher impact coming in at 10 a.m. It says medium here. So just if you're in the trade, be wary at 10 a.m. today. We've got some news which could move the market, and bear in mind it's a short week this week. Thanksgiving on Thursday, half day on Friday. It may be a bit of a strange week for trading. So just be wary of big movements in the market with not much volume. Okay, so let's get cracking. On my screen we're looking at the 1 hour time frame for the S&P 500 E-mini futures, and let's just start off with the daily time frame. You can see I put a few trend lines in today. You can see, let's load up my pen as well. There we go, it's already loaded. You can see we've been holding this uptrend for some time now. We've joined it here, and we've been holding it along here as well. And obviously you can make a clone of these lines and easily draw it in, and basically it's a clone of the bottom line. And so we've got a few areas potentially where we can watch for bounces, and doubt we get there today. Volume's about average as well, and we're coming up. We couldn't quite put in a new all-time high yesterday. We had a doji day, so an indecision day, and we're kind of smack bang in the middle. So it's an inside candle right now. So just be wary of that as well. It makes it hard. What we really want to see is the market go above yesterday or below yesterday, but inside days are a bit harder to trade. So let's drop down from the daily to the 1 hour time frame. You can see we've had a bit of volume come in. We're on the RSI, we're a little bit overbought right now, and we can see the result of that being overbought yesterday. We sold off. So today there's only probably two areas I really want to watch. The first area is going to be up here, this region. Yesterday's high, not quite all-time highs. That's that region I've got highlighted here, and we've got that trend line as well. So if we come into this region, I'll be looking for a short, and that's between 60.34 and 60.40 area. Let's just zoom out and just see where we are on all-time highs. So you can see we've got this all-time high area where we poked up, came back down, and then we sold off. And we haven't yet retested that area, so if we do get into that area, I'm not a big fan of shorting all-time highs, so I'm not going to short it as it comes into that. I'll be looking for confirmation on the 15 and the 5 minute for it to reject, put in a new low, maybe a change of trend, and then look for the entry. If it does a V-top like that, I probably won't get in unless it comes straight back out of that zone, exactly what we saw here. In and then straight back out, and then we've got enough time. But I really want to see it set up on the 15 and the 5 minute chart. So that's an area to watch at 60.34, 60.40, and then potentially we've got this is a big region really, but I'm really only focused on yesterday's high. So area confidence as well, tops of pivots, area confidence, tops of pivots, tops of pivots, tops of this pivot as well. So I quite like the fact that we come back up to that area. We can look for the rejection. Big volume up here as well, so we've yet to break through that volume, so we could prove that could act as overhead resistance. And then bounce for today, the only place I like really. I do quite like this area confidence. We've got a little bit of volume. We do lose the volume on the profile, and we've got area confidence, tops of pivots, and then we gapped up. We filled the gap yesterday. We talked about that yesterday. I'll go into one of my shorts I was in a second. And then we came in, look at that, we touched that trend line. We've been holding this trend line, and we came back in right into that trend line as well. And so I do quite like the bounce back down at yesterday's low area, and that's around at 59.82, 59.60, sorry, 83, that area. It's the area for the bounce, and it's not a bad area as well. We've got tops of these pivots, bottoms of these pivots, and we've retested it a few times. So 59.80 for the bounce, and then we've got 60.34, that area for the rejection. And I'm going to keep that in, but I'm going to draw a zone in. I do like drawing these zones in because it gives me a bit more area to watch for. So we can watch this region there for the bounce. So we've got two areas really. And then obviously if we break over this pre-market high area, we can see we've been consolidating for the last few hours. I'm looking for a break and retest long into these regions here, and that'd be targets. And the same if we lose the pre-market low. If we come back down, we want to see it break, retest into 59.97, and then down into the areas we're watching for the bounce. It looks quite close, this is the hourly, but when you go down onto the 5 and the 2 and the 15-minute chart, you know, we should easily get a good risk to reward from that. Let's look at SPY next. S&P 500. Again, you can draw the trend lines in if you want, but it's the same as ES. Notice how we spiked high, all-time high. Did we actually make a new all-time high in SPY? So 686, 88, high, 97. No, not quite making a new all-time high. So we still got that region there. And this is exactly what I was just saying about on the, if I'm looking for a confirmation. This is exactly, I missed this yesterday. It came in, spiked it, came back out, and then we can look for the short down. So that's exactly what I'll be looking for if we do a V-top, a spike. You can see that top in tail. That's exactly what I'll be looking for if we come back into it again in the ES. So let's keep an eye on the 600 area. So 600 is a key area to 601. That's our rejection area. And the bounce we can watch yesterday's low, and that is around 595. Area confluence there, bottoms of pivots, a bit of consolidation, tops of pivots where it was the ceiling, then became the floor, and then we kind of bounced in that area. So that's the area to watch, 494 to 495. And that's it. It's, like I said, it's going to be a funny week, less volume, so I'm only going to look for A+ setups, and these are the A+ setups. You can keep an eye on break and retest of pre-market high and pre-market low as well if you wanted to. I'll quickly go into my trade yesterday. I've got it open. So this is yesterday's trade. It was a break and retest of pre-market low, and so just to show you that these levels, is, you know, these areas we make. Let's draw a line in. So this is the pre-market low area here, and so it's around about there somewhere. And my entry, you can see that red arrow. So as we sold in, notice the reducing volume. That's exactly why I was looking for the short. I did contemplate, this is a 2-minute chart. Let's go to the, can I open up the 5? No, it won't let me open the 5 because I just took a screenshot. But we had reducing volume. I do trade 2-minute charts as well, but because the market's been a bit strange over the last few weeks, I kind of just go up to the 5-minute chart because it gives me a bit more, it filters out the noise a bit more. But I would have probably taken this even on the 2-minute chart, so I will keep an eye on that. So stop was there, my 5-minute stop was there, and that's my entry. I basically want to get below this consolidation area. There's a little bit of volume in that area, but what gave it away, what made it even easier to take, was this confirmation. Reducing volume as price was increasing, and then basically it's just finding an entry. I went short on the break of a 5-minute level, and then but we could have easily, and I was a little bit in my drawdown for a bit, but I never got anywhere near stopping out. And maybe I could have fine-tuned it or looked for an ad, and I got out there. The reason I got out there because that was, we had 6,000. I was keeping an eye on that psychological number, but also this was yesterday's low, that area. So I got out of half of my contracts at yesterday's low. My original 2R, my original 3R was there. It literally was one tick below where it got to. So I got out there. I basically moved my stop to that point because it was a yesterday's low and it's an area I thought it might bounce from, and I thought it would have done. And when it came back down, I held it in place. I had a 3R, a 5R target around about there, a bit further down, and then I wasn't around, so I left it to it. So I put my stop to break even, and as you can see, it eventually stopped me out of break even. So I got 50% at around 2R, I think it was, and then the other 50% was about half an hour because my break even was there. I think my stop was above this area here. It's exactly there actually. So a bit annoyed because obviously I was literally one tick away, but that's what it is. And that was my trade yesterday, break and retest, so it's a decent trade. And again, I'm only looking for A+ setups, and I'll be watching that again today. So SPX levels, pretty much the same. Nothing's really changed. We put in a new all-time high, even though we didn't on SPY or ES. So that's the previous all-time high. Oh, let's go to a yellow. So that was the previous all-time high, and we spiked it. An indecision candle, and we're kind of trading back in that region now, area confidence. So again, I use the SPX as a guide whether I want to go long or short. If I'm looking for a long and we're above a key area, then that gives me more confidence it's going to work. But if we broke down and I'm looking to go long, we're coming into a key area, then I would think twice or maybe reduce my risk right down if it doesn't set up on the SPX. NQ. Again, we've got this daily trend line holding. We can probably draw some more trend lines. In fact, I'll do that now because I'll show you what I like to do is just draw in the most recent trend lines. And then if you clone it, you see it almost exactly touches all the others. So clone that one, clone that again there. Look at that. So you've got, these are the areas to watch. We've got these two spikes down. Ignore that, that's the daily. And we can watch these areas for additional confirmation as well. We're trying to find a reason to bounce. Not only do we have this level, we're watching hourly level and maybe a bit of volume, but we also got a trend line in that area as well, and we've got the 200 moving average. All these confirmations all add up to a better, more profitable, or more higher probability trade. So again, looking at these trend lines and looking at the levels we've got and the areas of confluence, let's keep an eye on 28.27, 28.40, that area for a bounce, maybe as low as yesterday's low, that area there. And then this area for the rejection, if we can get back up into 21,080, not only we had yesterday's high, we've also got this area of confluence as well, and we've got volume coming in. And again, I like looking for multiple areas of confirmation, and we've got this trend line as well, which kind of comes up into that region as well. So lots of reasons why it might work, so that we can watch that area. Again, A+ only setups for me today. And obviously keep an eye on pre-market high and pre-market low, break and retest. I'm not the biggest fan of the pre-market low on this one because we've got quite a lot of confidence over to the left, and we've got a bit of increase in volume as well, so it might be hard to try and find a short. But if the market wants to go down, you can see these big moving days. If it's going to cut through all the clutter and all the noise, it will do. So that's NQ. QQQ, again, we can draw in this trend line. You can see we've got the daily trend line, but you know, there's no reason why we can't look at more local hourly trend lines as well. If we clone that, you see it clones almost exactly to most of the pivots. Clone that. Okay, well, I haven't cloned it, but there you go. It's holding that area as well. So we're in this, could call it one or two things, a bear flag, bit of a pullback, but the volume is not really decreasing, so I don't really know whether you can treat it as a bear flag. So but we can again watch 510 to 511 for the rejection. This region here, area of confluence as well, because we've got bottoms of these candles, tops of these candles, and then the top of yesterday as well. So could act as a higher probability rejection. And then yesterday's low is a big area of confluence. We've got this big volume spike here. We've got a pullback into that area twice, and then we've got this area of confluence. So let's watch this area 505 to 504 for the bounce. I do quite like that for the bounce actually. Oil. Good morning, Charles. Hope you're well. Hope you had a good day trading yesterday. Oil next. We're just consolidating here, so let's watch a break and retest over pre-market high and pre-market low as normal. We do have this area of confluence, which happens to be yesterday's high. We came close into it before we lost it again. We've held it there, we've held it a few times, and we've got this little bit of volume shelf as well. So $70, we can watch for a rejection unless we're long, watch for a break and retest into that area. Again, we've got other levels above at 70.50, 71.50. Not really 71, there's nothing really there, although we do have a bit of volume coming in that area. And then bounce areas, let's keep an eye on yesterday's low. In fact, yesterday's low is not a bad area because we've got this, where's this coming? Area confluence. You can see that tops of pivots, bottoms of pivots, and it happens to be right on the pre-market low area as well. So if we're looking for a break and retest, we need it really to come right through pre-market low, yesterday low, and come back and retest that area. So just be wary on that pre-market low. Gold next. Let's look on the daily for 4 hourly. Just look at the daily for a second. Just want to see, did we get to 50% or 60? There we go. So let's just change that to the normal. Okay, didn't quite get to the 618. That's fine. Just wanted to check that. But are we looking at a left shoulder, head, a very bad right shoulder, down like that, using that as a trend line? Got big this area of confluence up here, so let's go back into the hourly. There's a bit of volume coming in as well, so that area of confluence is probably already got a level for. So let's keep an eye on 2684, 2690 for a rejection. Look, last time we got there we had a big rejection down. And then let's keep an eye on pre-market low, yesterday's low for the bounce. If we get through yesterday's low, pre-market low, break a retest short, and we've got a couple of levels to watch. RTY. Potentially, we've got this very not very well formed head and shoulders pattern. Depends how you want to see it. We could say that is all of that is the right shoulder if you look at it on the 4 hour or the daily. You know, even though I like a perfect head and shoulders pattern, you have to know that there's never a perfect pattern, and as close as we get, that's normally the pattern we're looking for, something like that. Let's go to the daily, see if we can. Don't see much on the daily. 4 hour. So 4 hour looks like a better head and shoulders pattern. You can see left shoulder, head, potentially right shoulder setting up. A bit like this one here, same as this pattern. It wasn't perfect, but it set up perfectly, broke, came back and retested the neckline. So that's kind of what I want to see on this as well, on RTY. So I want to see it break down below this level here, 24.33. Let's go into the hourly. 24.33, this area here, break and retest short, and so that would be basically the break and retest of pre-market low, and that'll probably set up just how we want it to. Otherwise, break over pre-market high, break and retest long, and then we keep an eye on yesterday's high, which is a new all-time high yesterday for RTY. So keep an eye on that for a rejection. And I like this area because the last time we came up to that area, we had this big reaction down. So not much volume, no volume at all, so we just need to watch that. YM, again we're consolidating in this region. We need to see it do something out of that, so probably no play unless we break down below pre-market low short, or if we break over pre-market high, which is also yesterday's high long. They're the only plays to watch today on the Dow Jones, which is the YM. And if we do break down, we've got a few bounce there. We've got this bounce area here. Should expect to see a bit of volume. Look at all these bottom tails here as well. So potentially we can watch that area for a bounce. And then Bitcoin is selling off a little bit. Let's go to the daily. Let's just draw in the trend line. We've broken that trend line, but it was a very steep uptrend. Look how far away we were. We talked about it needing to come back down to the 20, to the 50, and to the 200. So long overdue. So we're due to come back. We're very oversold as well. Overbought I meant. And we've got a lot of volume coming in. I talked about this, saying that's usually where I try and find an out. I was looking for another out up here. I missed the 100k. I didn't miss it. My alert didn't trigger. I think I got it set to 100k now. I think my alert went off when it got to 99, but it's either outside of market hours or I wasn't watching. So I didn't take an ad. I've only got a third of my position left on Bitcoin. But I was looking to take something out up there. So maybe if we come back and we confirm a double top. I'm not too fast. Like I said, I've been taking outs on the way up. So I'm happy to take some of the move. And I've got a third left. Or maybe a bit less, about 25% left. So if we see it continue to go up, then I won't have any FOMO thinking, why did I get out when it carries on? And then obviously we're looking for pullbacks, and this is a nice, I like seeing a nice pullback like this. We need a pullback, so potentially look for an ad. I really want it to come back down to the 73 area for another ad. And that's it. One thing to add actually on Bitcoin, I didn't realise this. I on my bank account, I have Bitcoin. I can buy Bitcoin quite easily, and I've also got it set up to round up any of my purchases. So if I buy something, you know, on my card or online, it automatically rounds up and to the nearest £10, or I think it's to the nearest pound or £10, and it buys Bitcoin with it. And so the other day I was checking my Bitcoin, so I don't look at it that often. Oh, that's more than what I thought it would be. And I've used my card a few times. I realised all these transactions have been rounding up while we've been having this big push up as well. So got a decent 20% gain on I think my Bitcoin's up about 25-30%. And obviously while I've been taking profits, all that's been added back in on my little tiny purchases. If I get a moment, I'll share a link to the card. I think it's Revolut. I think you can get it most places in the world. But also, if I share a link, I think we both get £30 or $30 each as well if you get that today. So it's worth going through one of the links as well. I'll put that in one of my descriptions. But it's worth doing, and that's an easy way to invest in Bitcoin with no effort whatsoever. And you can just all these little pounds and these £3 here all mount up, and it's given me quite a bit. So I might take some out and treat the kids at Christmas or something. But that's it. Order flow. Let's have a quick look at that before we go. It's not looking unusual. You can see well, I suppose you could say, hang on, let's get my pen. So we have got order flow increasing in price, increasing cumulative delta, I meant, but price is going sideways. So this is putting in new highs, new highs, new highs, new highs, new highs, and we're putting in equal highs along here, and then we finally put in a new high, and we've just sold off for a bit. So market opens in 5 minutes. So what does this mean? Potentially we've got the buyers there, and it's been absorbed by the sellers, and we're either looking for exhaustion. You can see signs of exhaustion here, a low value order there. Only 8 contracts were sold there as well. We've got lots of volume in this area here. You can see, let's just draw it as a rectangle. You can see all the volume in this area. So this is the area where all the volume's traded, and then suddenly we're down to 36 contracts, so not in the hundreds or the 400s. And the same here, we've got all this volume here being traded, but we've only got 8 contracts. So that's a sign that there is some exhaustion. And any alarm bells or any things to see where we're coming up? Aligned point of controls there. No, not really. This is kind of the first sign. If we're going sideways and the price is and the delta is increasing, then potentially there's something not quite right, and this could be an area where we might be looking for a bit of rejection. So let's keep an eye on that. We're away from the pre-market high now, which is up here. 60.25, I believe it's 60.23, 60.25 area. That's the pre-market high. So we can keep an eye on that. We look for a break and retest of that area, or if we keep heading down, we can look for a break and retest of pre-market low. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you like the video and it's helpful, hit the like button and subscribe, and hopefully we'll build up a nice community. Okay, On my other channel, it's the live order flow, which is what you're looking at right now, and this is live until the market closes. And don't forget, it's a short week this week. I won't be around Thursday and I won't be around Friday, so I'll just be around. Tomorrow's my last day, but I will try and get the order flow up and running on Friday if I'm around. Okay, thanks for watching.